out here on Blue Ridge Street in Big Mulberry Circle, or Trce. Right next to this railroad crossing, which I'm going to do a quick tour of. This is on the Norfolk Southern's Asheville and Southern line, which is more famously known for Saluda. And we're going to do a quick tour of this crossing because something interesting I want to point out is that this signal here is actually brand new. There's a relay case. This is a Siemens signal base, 12 by 20 inch incandescent lights with what looks like a Type 3 e-bell. Dot number is 720710A. Down that way leads to Spartanburg. Down this way leads to Saluda. The other signal here is about the same as it was. Well, it's been the same ever since it was installed here. More 12 by 20 inch incandescent lights with same dot tag and everything. This one has a SafeTran. This one has a SafeTran system base and a SafeTran gate mech. This one has a pretty long gate, and you can tell the side lights here are actually the main road lights, while the mast lights are the actual side lights, because you can see it's actually pointed towards this road here. Go back over. Once again, that's that signal right there. What's interesting to me is that's a brand new signal. It was installed there about a year ago, and I think the original signal may have been ran into or fallen over or broke down or something, because you can tell that those side lights are actually reused from the original signal that was here, because you can see they're dented a little, but oh well. That's the quick tour of this crossing. Inman, South Carolina, Big Mulberry Trce, and Blue Ridge Street. We are now at Depot Street in Campobello, South Carolina, to tour the next crossing, which is also on Norfolk Southern's Asheville and Southern line, or Asheville and Spartanburg, I mean, Asheville and Southern. This is crossing here. It's a SafeTran mechanism, or SafeTran signal, with 12 by 20 inch incandescent lights and a mechanical bell, and a dot tag is 720706K. There's the other signal, which is the same thing. Down that way leads to Saluda. This way leads to Spartanburg. And you can see right there is the old, I'll zoom in here, the older Norfolk Southern dot tag. This crossing is an unusual function where, I think because some with the relay case there, I've seen this crossing in action before. The bell doesn't ring until the gate actually starts going down. So like when the signals activate for like 3 seconds in advance, I think, they activate and the bell doesn't go off until the gates actually go down. So, and then they ring again when the gates go back up. That's Depot Street. We are now at Old Mill Road in Campobello, South Carolina, about to tour the next crossing. Here it is. This is a gateless crossing, as you can tell. There's SafeTran bases with 8-inch lights. The dot number is 720707S. As you can see. You can see there's an old industrial spur right there. They used to go out to that place over there. And then you can see the signal right there has the bell. I think that's a SafeTran Type 3, if I'm not mistaken. That way goes to Spartanburg. That way goes to Saluda. Or Asheville, if you want to put it that way, because this is still on the Norfolk Southern Asheville and Spartanburg line, or A&S district. That's what it was used to be called. Yeah, 8-inch lights. Cool. We are now at Hulon Howard Road in Landrum, South Carolina. Not much to see for this crossing, but still some interesting things to point out here. There's a stop sign that's mounted right here for some reason. Here's the first crossbuck here, and then the dot tag on this thing is 720704W. As you can see, Norfolk Southern. This is a double track crossing, as you can tell. And here's the other crossbuck, which also has a stop sign. 2 tracks. It has these reflectors on it. Now, back in, I think it was March of 2017, I saw a Norfolk Southern transfer train pushing cars into this line right here, because back then Norfolk Southern was putting cars in storage. And I was right here at this crossing. The train came up and stopped right there. They hopped down and told us that they're going to weld them to the rails, which they didn't stay here for some reason. They moved them back to Salisbury, because those cars came from Salisbury. Down that way heads towards Landrum and to Saluda and Asheville and Hendersonville and Asheville. And this way leads to Campobello, Inman, Gramling, and Spartanburg. You can tell on this crossbuck here, it's pretty well worn out. Can't really make out the railroad crossing thing on it, but the reflecting is still there. The 2-track sign on this one's an individual digit sign, which is kind of unique, while the other one's just a single sign. See, it has this reflective stuff on both sides of the crossbucks, because, you know, reflecting. Now, as for this inner track right here, this track has not been used since Saluda shut down in 2001, so you can tell here from the rails that not a single thing has really rolled over it, and kind of just ballast is kind of built up in there, and it's really kind of eating up the rail. You can tell from how worn out it looks too. Meanwhile, this rail here is a little cleaner, because this is the rail that was used for some point when there was still a grain mill industry down here. Tracks are well rusted, and see, this one has the rubber spacers in the asphalt, while the other track doesn't. There's a date code somewhere on these tracks. I'm trying to see if I can see it without trespassing. This is a welded rail, while the siding track here is jointed rail. I think the jointed rail is stamped 1945, because I remember, I think it says back here like 1945. Yeah, I can see it right there, 1945. While this welded rail was installed at a later time. 1940. Well, this rail's stamped 1946. I can see right there. It says 1946. Huh. I thought this rail was replaced at some time, but guess not. So yeah, that's the Hulon Howard Road crossing, and now we'll be going on to the next crossing. Back up here. Hulon Howard Road.